Bride says yes to a dress she hated, because it was the only one in the plus-size section, cried that night. The bride advocated for herself and found her dream dress a week later. A bride was left to choose a wedding dress she hated, because it was the only plus-size one available. Miranda Trevino, 22, reflected on her disappointment with wedding dress shopping in a video with 8.5 million views and 1 million likes on TikTok. In the video posted on Jan. 14, Trevino wrote, "How much aura points did I lose when I had to say yes to a dress I hated because it's all they had in the plus-size section. I cried that night in the hotel." In the video, Trevino stands in the wedding dress in question while carrying a heart-shaped sign that reads, "I found the one." She's visibly upset as she purses her lips while facing a bridal consultant. But she forces a smile and rings a bell indicating that she's found her wedding dress. The bride described the situation as a sad moment in her caption. Luckily, her story ended up having a happy ending. "I knew in my heart that I wasn't happy with that dress. So glad I advocated for myself," she continued after revealing that the following week she went back with her mom to get the dress she actually wanted. Comments were disabled on the viral video. But in another video posted by the TikToker showcasing the dress she actually picked, TikTok users hyped her up in the comments section. "This one is definitely meant for you, smiling face," one person commented. Trevino replied, "I think so too, face holding back tears, sparkles white heart. I'm so glad I went back and got this one. Even if it was a 3-hour drive, rolling on the floor laughing," the bride said in a different comment. In the caption of the clip of the wedding dress, which has a sweetheart neckline and lace appliques, Trevino described the second shopping experience as a core memory, face holding back tears, loudly crying white heart. While the first dress was just a no, she gushed of her new gown, "I love my dress." In another post, she updated her followers on how her wedding went. "It was a beautiful, memorable day. Bride says yes to a dress she hated, because it was the only one in the plus-size section, cried that night." In a moment meant to be filled with joy, a bride to be found herself grappling with disappointment when she had no choice but to settle for a wedding dress she didn't love. The bride, whose story has since gone viral, shared her emotional experience of shopping for her dream gown, only to realize that the options in the plus-size section were severely limited. The moment, which should have been a highlight of her wedding journey, turned into a reminder of the fashion industry's persistent challenges in catering to diverse body types. An excited start turned sour. The bride, who wished to remain anonymous, walked into a well-known bridal boutique with high hopes. Like many brides, she had envisioned trying on an array of stunning gowns and finding the one. However, her excitement quickly faded when she was directed to the plus-size section. Unlike the rest of the store, which was brimming with various styles and designs, this section had only a handful of options. "I walked in with so much excitement," she shared. "But when I saw the limited selection, I felt crushed. I couldn't believe that in this day and age, brides like me are still an afterthought." A dress she didn't want. Among the limited choices was a dress she immediately disliked. "It wasn't what I wanted at all," she explained. "The style didn't suit me, and it wasn't even close to what I had imagined wearing on my big day." With her wedding date approaching and no time to explore more options, she reluctantly said yes to the dress. "I cried that night," she admitted. "It felt like my joy and excitement were taken away from me. Instead of feeling beautiful and confident, I felt like I had to settle." A broader issue in bridal fashion. Her story is not an isolated incident. Many brides in the plus-size community have spoken out about the lack of inclusivity in the bridal fashion industry. While the average woman's clothing size in many countries is above a size 12, many bridal stores only carry sample sizes that cater to smaller frames. For plus-size brides, this often means fewer options, longer wait times, and additional alteration costs. "I felt like I wasn't worthy of the same experience as other brides," the bride reflected. "It's heartbreaking to feel excluded during such a special time in your life." Calls for change. The bride's story has sparked widespread discussions online, with many calling on the bridal fashion industry to do better. Social media users and advocates have emphasized the importance of body diversity and inclusivity in bridal collections. "Every bride deserves to feel beautiful on her wedding day," one user commented. "It's time for designers and boutiques to recognize that beauty comes in all sizes." Some bridal stores and designers are already making strides toward inclusivity. Brands like David's Bridal and others have introduced extended size ranges and inclusive marketing campaigns. However, stories like this highlight the work that still needs to be done. Turning pain into advocacy. While her initial experience was heartbreaking, the bride is using her story to advocate for change. She has started a social media campaign encouraging brides to share their experiences and call for more inclusivity in the bridal industry. "I don't want any other bride to feel the way I did," she said. "We all deserve to feel beautiful and celebrated, no matter our size." A hopeful outcome. Despite the challenges she faced, the bride is determined to focus on the joy of her upcoming wedding. With the help of a supportive community, she is customizing her gown to better suit her vision and has found strength in sharing her journey. "I realize that my wedding is about love, not just a dress," she concluded. "But I still hope for a future where every bride feels like the star of her own story."